All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about the wild, digital world of cryptocurrencies. It's this place of incredible innovation, decentralization, and just massive potential. But there's a dark side. A new frontier, not just for finance, but for fraud.
So let's just start with a number. $14 billion. That right there is the estimated value of all the fraud and scams that went down in the crypto market in 2021. Just 1 year. It's a mind-blowing figure that shows you just how huge this problem has become.
And this chart? This shows you how fast it's all spiraling. In 2020, we were looking at about $7.8 billion in illicit crypto activity. Just a year later, that number almost doubled. So yeah, this isn't some small niche problem, it's an exploding global crisis.
Okay, so how did we even get to this point? To really understand the crime, you got to understand the technology first. So let's back up for just a second and break down the basics. First things first, cryptocurrency. If you strip away all the complicated jargon, it's really just digital money. It exists as these things called coins or tokens, and instead of a bank keeping track of everything, it uses super advanced cryptography and this tech called blockchain to keep it all secure. And that brings us to the blockchain itself. The easiest way to think about it is like a public digital receipt book. It's a chain of data blocks, all linked together in the order they happened. And this ledger is shared across tons of computers, which makes it incredibly secure and basically impossible to cheat or tamper with. So you can probably see where this is going. All those key features, being decentralized, secure, and pretty anonymous, they create a real double-edged sword. The very things that make crypto so revolutionary, promising this new era of financial freedom, well, they also accidentally create the perfect hiding place for criminals to do their thing. So that leads to the big question, right? What are the biggest crimes being pulled off in this new digital Wild West? Well, the research we're explaining today really zooms in on a couple of the main offenders. The research points to two main culprits. On one side, you've got money laundering. This is the big one, the most common crypto crime. It's all about taking dirty money and making it look clean. And on the other side, you've got Ponzi schemes. It's an ancient scam, really, just dressed up in a new high-tech disguise, luring investors with these promises of insane guaranteed profits.
Let's just walk through how a Ponzi scheme actually works, because it's pretty methodical. It always starts with the lure, some unbelievable investment opportunity. Then comes the buy-in. The organizers take money from new investors to pay fake profits to the early ones. This creates the illusion that it's all legit and successful, which sucks in even more victims. And it works, right up until the collapse, when they can't get enough new money and the whole house of cards tumbles down. The organizers just vanish with whatever's left.
But money laundering, that's the bigger, more systemic problem. And this quote from a researcher, Esoime, back in 2018 really hits hard. He said that Bitcoin creates opportunities for moving illegal money on a scale that's way beyond what traditional banking could ever do. I mean, that's a pretty powerful and frankly scary thought.
And you know what? The data completely backs him up. Money laundering activity in crypto jumped by 30% between 2020 and 2021. In that year alone, criminals managed to wash an estimated $8.6 billion. That's a 30% increase in a single year.
So with crime just blowing up like this, you have to wonder, who are the detectives? Who's trying to bring some law and order to this digital frontier? Well, the answer, for the most part, is actually researchers and academics.
And you can see their response right here. This chart shows that right around 2018, the number of scientific papers being published on crypto fraud just shot through the roof. It's like, as the criminals got more sophisticated, the academic world kicked into high gear to figure them out and fight back.
Now, a map like this might look super complex, but it's a really important tool called network analysis. It basically helps researchers see the entire problem at a glance. It clusters all the key terms, like Bitcoin, blockchain, money laundering, so they can see how everything is connected, and more importantly, where they need to focus their attention. And all that brainpower is being focused on two main battlegrounds: detection, which is all about finding the crime while it's happening, and regulation, which is about creating the rules and laws to stop it from happening in the first place.
Okay, so let's get into the cool, high-tech detective work. For detection, researchers are building some seriously amazing tools. They're analyzing transaction histories to flag criminal addresses, they're using machine learning to spot weird, suspicious patterns that a human would miss, and they're even building these digital honeypots, which are basically traps designed to look like a juicy target to lure in criminals so they can be studied in the wild.
But finding the crime is only half the battle. Trying to regulate it is a massive, massive global challenge. Here's the core problem. Crypto doesn't care about borders, but our laws do. There isn't even a single legal definition for what a cryptocurrency is that everyone agrees on. So you get a country like the UK having really strict rules, while another is way more relaxed. It's this messy patchwork that just can't keep up with a technology that's everywhere at once. We urgently need some kind of global standard.
And that's really what this all comes down to. It's a fundamental race. On one side, you have this incredibly fast, borderless technological innovation, and on the other, you have the much, much slower, nation-by-nation pace of regulation. And it leaves us with one final, really critical question to think about. In this race, who's actually going to